One of my favorite online resources to have a deeper knowledge of Spanish vocabulary is called SpanishDict. And SpanishDict has helped me so much throughout my Spanish learning journey. And I use this resource every single week because there's usually at least a few words or a few phrases that I have completely forgot and I just need help remembering. And one word that I always forget for some reason is peach in Spanish. So I'm just going to look that up in SpanishDict. And I see that peach is el durazno. And the good thing about SpanishDict is that I don't only get the definition of el durazno, I also get a lot of examples with this word el durazno. Estos duraznos están maduros. And then I also see here that there is another word for peach in Spanish, and that is el melocotón. And it looks like they use this particular word in Panama, Puerto Rico, and Spain. And then el durazno is just used throughout Latin America. So that is actually very good to know. Me encantan los smoothies de melocotón y naranja. I'd say my favorite feature of SpanishDict is the pronunciation feature. So let's say I did not know how to pronounce peach in Spanish, el durazno. So all I have to do is click on a little button here, and then I will get the actual pronunciation of this word from some Spanish speakers here.
Durazno.
Durazno.
Ras.
No. And in this case here, this particular Spanish speaker that is pronouncing this word right now is from Latin America. And then we can also change the person who is pronouncing this word. We have two options. So we have Latin American pronunciation, then we also have the Spanish pronunciation from Spain. So I definitely like this option here. Durazno. Durazno. So I use this feature all the time because I'm always messing up my Spanish pronunciation. So I always look up so many different words and then go through this little practice of pressing this little button so I can hear the pronunciation and then just repeating it over and over again. And it's kind of nice too because I don't have to talk to any kind of Spanish tutor at all. I don't have to reach out to my Spanish speaking friends, but I can just go online right now, or I can go on my phone because it's also an application. I use that one a lot as well, and then I can just use the pronunciation feature that is on SpanishDict. Another thing that I have done a lot is figure out what all of the difficult Spanish words are for me to pronounce, and then I would write them all down on a little notebook like this, and then I would go to SpanishDict, and then I would write out all of those Spanish pronunciations. It might be a little difficult to see, just like that. And then I would review those on my notebook just like that. So then I wouldn't have to go back to the website or to the application. And this has improved my Spanish pronunciation a lot because now I have this, visual of how to pronounce every single word. And then has helped me a lot to figure out what parts of the word do I need to stress, or, if I need to, in this case, if I need to change the pronunciation of la Z of the Z to a TH sound for the Spanish pronunciation in Spain. I also love the example sentences on SpanishDict because I can actually see how these words can be used in context. So example with durazno, I know now that I can use durazno with estar, the verb estar. Están duros. So that's something that for me is like incredible to know. And some other examples I have here are, por ejemplo, puedes respirar un aceite de durazno o eucalipto. I don't know how to say that second word, but this is really good to know that I can use the preposition de, un aceite de durazno. El rico aroma de melocotón, fragante, suave y dulce sabor. So here's another example where I can use this preposition de in a sentence. El rico aroma de melocotón. So this is exactly how I have been able to have a lot deeper knowledge of Spanish vocabulary by looking at these examples and just seeing them in context. Now let's search up a verb. So one difficult verb for me has always been preferir. And then if we click on the conjugation tab, this is really your bread and butter right here for all things verb conjugations. because you're going to get all the conjugations, and then you're also going to get the pronunciation of each of these verb conjugations.
Prefieres.
Prefieres.
Prefirió.
Prefirió. Now I just looked up the adjective amable, or kind in Spanish, and I'm going to the thesaurus tab because I like this tab a lot, because now we can see a lot of synonyms, and then we can also see some antonyms as well for amable in Spanish. So some synonyms are agradable, amigable, amistoso, atento, bondadoso, and then some antonyms are arisco, áspero, bestial, borde. So I really like these antonyms, these synonyms, so you have a lot of other options for when it comes to, speaking Spanish, because sometimes you want to figure out another way of saying a word instead of just saying amable all the time. Or if you need to figure out a word that's opposite of amable, then here you are. You have a whole bunch of words that are available to you that you can add to your tool belt. So when I say deeper knowledge of Spanish vocabulary, this is exactly what I mean. All these features that you have available to you on SpanishDict is going to give you this deeper knowledge, because you are able to see the word, you know how the word is pronounced, you may know how it's pronounced in other Spanish-speaking countries, and then you have a whole bunch of examples as well. You know whether it is a verb, whether it's a noun or adjective. You know whether it's masculine or feminine, and then you also have some synonyms, and you also have some antonyms. So all these different aspects and different features of SpanishDict, I think, really help for you to not only have a deeper knowledge of Spanish vocabulary, but also for you to be able to remember them a lot more, because all these things really help to retain the vocabulary. And for me, this has been very helpful, and I know that this is going to help you as well, because there have been many times where maybe I know the definition of a Spanish word, right? But I have no idea how it's pronounced, and I have no idea how to actually use that word in context. So currently, I'm using the free version of SpanishDict, but they also have a paid version, or the premium version of SpanishDict. And with that, you can get cheat sheets, you can learn offline on iOS, you can learn Spanish faster, there are no ads, fun phrase books, and support SpanishDict. Also, right now, I am logged on to SpanishDict.com, so I'm not 100% sure if there are any features that you may not have access to, but I know one thing that I do receive is a word of the day that is sent to my email every single day, so that is fairly cool. There's also a section on SpanishDict.com where you can see every single Spanish word of the day. So besides the dictionary, the translator, and the verb conjugator, there is still a decent amount that SpanishDict has to offer you as a Spanish learner. So on the top, you can click on vocabulary, and then there are a few different vocabulary lists that you can select. And some of these are only for premium SpanishDict, but there still are also some decent vocabulary lists that you can select from where you don't have to pay. So this is a very good resource as well. In addition to that, there are classrooms, grammar, conjugation drills, and pronunciation. So for the classrooms, you can assign lessons, you can track student progress, and you can sync with Google Classroom, and this is all for free. And for that, you can customize your vocabulary list, you can have interactive grammar lessons, and there's cross-device compatibility. So this is actually something new that I have not heard before, but it sounds pretty helpful. And if we go to the grammar section, this is very useful as well. There's a lot of different grammar explanations for the Spanish language. So for where are you from, meet someone new, introduce your friends, at the market, what's up, and they have different lessons for each of these different grammar topics. Perfect your Spanish pronunciation. So on this page here, there are a lot of different sections or different topics where you can learn about Spanish pronunciation. So pronunciation of B and V, pronunciation of C and C, pronunciation of G, pronunciation of J, and so on and so forth. Let me know in the comment section below, how has using SpanishDict helped you to learn Spanish vocabulary? Thank you very much for watching. My name is Joshua. This is Spanish Blueprints, and watch this next video.